Hi guys, this is Sam from Fluid Social and I'm talking to you from Oxford Circus, just around Oxford Circus. Today I'm going to break down a little video that I filmed in King's Cross where I talk to an attractive girl over there who's just on a work break, and I'm going to break down the intricacies of the interaction so you guys have a better understanding of what's actually going on. Excuse me. Hi. This is really random, but you just walked past me and I thought you were beautiful.
Oh my god, so I'm in my own little world right now.
Yeah, you're kind of looking down. So I went up and I approached her and I said, I just saw you walk past me and I thought you looked beautiful. Now, I don't always recommend giving a compliment as the opening line. Very often it's a habitual thing that we do, right? It's the easiest direct way to go and talk to someone. If you want to express your intent, it's obviously very easy to go up and say, I thought you looked beautiful. But I would recommend, if you have the opportunity, to actually just say something like, I wanted to meet you. A lot of women prefer that. It allows them to lower their defenses a little bit and actually have a natural conversation which can move in whatever direction it will tend to move, rather than sort of forcing a romantic frame around it. But if you can keep it kind of low key and low profile and just say, I thought you looked beautiful, I wanted to meet you, then that is a good approach as well. And especially if you're starting out and you're a beginner, it really helps to go up and express your intent straight away, so there's no confusion about why you're there, and so that you get to practice actually expressing yourself and having that sort of maybe awkward moment where you tell a stranger that they look very attractive and have to sort of deal with the consequences of that. So it's great for beginners. I'm Sam, nice to meet you. We're going to elbow, we're not meant to touch hands.
This is so true.
I'm so sure that I'm fine, so don't worry. We can talk, but I'm not allowed to touch you. So.
That's alright, no
What's
worries.
your name?
So nice to meet you, I'm B.
So after you've gone up and you've approached the girl and you've given her a compliment, had a little conversation, it's good to kind of contextualize the conversation. So in this case, this was just as the COVID-19 cases were on the rise, before we had to wear masks and everything like that. So I contextualized it by saying, look, I'm not allowed to shake your hand or give you a hug, so we're going to bump elbows. It's okay, don't worry, I don't have anything, I can guarantee you that, but we're still not allowed to touch. Right, again, just to introduce that you understand what's going on in the society that you live in, you are sort of up to date, you're a normal guy, you can contextualize things a little bit and turn it into a little bit of a joke, like, don't worry, I don't have anything, but you know, we've got to keep it safe anyway, right? So you can kind of give that bit of context and it allows her to see that you're a normal person.
I'm B.
B. I'm going to go for B.
Yeah,
I like
B's
that.
more
It's a bit
chill,
more personal,
yeah.
that. And what are you up to? You go to the university?
I actually work in
Oh, cool. They've sent you home?
No, I'm just on my lunch break. I just come for a little walk, so I was like, it's too stressful at work, so I thought I'd just come out for a nice walk. What about you?
That always settles you down after you're stuck inside.
Yeah.
I imagine you have 0 customers right now though.
No, I'm in the head office designing.
Got you,
so
got
no
you.
customers,
Much
luckily.
more fun.
Yeah.
It's like your own little fun.
Yeah.
Stay at home, B. We don't need you.
Really praying that's going to happen. What are you up to?
What am I up to? It's a really good question.
You're not doing a lot.
No, I'm actually chilling as well. Like, I was trying to do some work in my house, and then I was like, this isn't working.
Quarantined.
Well, no, I was just planning some stuff, planning my life travels.
Yeah, that's fun. Where are you going to go?
Well, that depends entirely on how this virus looks.
I feel like you can't plan that right now.
But I'm planning like Lisbon, Berlin, Ukraine, and Brazil.
That's cool.
So at this point, I said, so what are you up to, right? And in most cases, I would advise making an assumption, saying something like, so I get the impression you've had to run away from work because you were getting suffocated by the atmosphere, or so I take it you've just quit your job, slammed your fist down on the table, thrown all your files out the window and done a runner, right? You can make a sort of jokey assumption about what she's been doing, and that's a fun way to be playful without asking a question. In this case, I was extremely low energy during this interaction. It was, I'd talked to a few people before and I was pretty tired, so we just kept it real chill. It's not like the perfect example of how to have a sort of attractive conversation actually. I think it's good for beginners just to see how a conversation works, but I wouldn't follow that step by step. I think it's actually better to make an assumption than ask a question like, so what are you up to? It's a pretty boring question I asked, but luckily we had that little bit of connection before, so it was very conversational in nature by this stage. And then she said, so what are you up to? And that kind of caught me off guard, because I'm always a massive advocate of keeping everything honest and respectful and just being completely upfront about what you're doing, you know, trying not to lie about anything. But in this case, because the interaction's filmed and she asked me, what are you up to? I wouldn't then say, well, I've got my cameraman over there filming this conversation, because that sort of ruins the point of the video that I'm giving you guys today, which is to see a natural interaction. I might say that afterwards instead. So it kind of catches you off guard when you're being very real and very honest, and they say, what are you up to? So you kind of just say, you know, I'm just chilling, just hanging out. But again, just tell her what you're going to do. If you're not really doing anything, if you're just walking around and having fun, just say, I'm just relaxing, I'm just out for a walk as well. Kindred spirits, like minds think alike, or good minds think alike. Say something like that, just to keep it real and keep it personal with her.
Got you,
So
got
good,
you.
Christmas,
Much
lovely.
more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's like your own little one.
Yeah. I'm really hoping in an email. So
Stay at home, Bea. We don't need you.
really like praying that's gonna happen. What
That's
are you
cool.
two?
What am I up to? It's a really good question.
You're not doing a lot.
No, I'm actually chilling as well. Like, I was trying to do some work in my house, and then I was like, this
Have you
isn't
been
working.
quarantined? Oh.
Well, no, I was just planning. I was just planning some stuff, planning my life travels.
Yeah, that's fun. Where are you gonna go?
Well, that depends entirely on how this virus looks
I
for the
feel
next
like you
year.
can't plan that right
But I'm
now.
planning like Lisbon, Berlin, Ukraine,
Ah.
and Brazil.
That's cool.
And then I just needed a walk as well.
Yeah.
So we're on the same
I
page.
love
Bea.
a walk. I know. Every
Helps, doesn't it?
lunchtime,
Settles the mind.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How long have you got on your lunch break?
I think I've got literally like 5 minutes or
That's
2
a shame.
minutes. I know.
I thought you were starting out, and I was gonna.
No, oh my
I was
God,
gonna
I'm
invite
so
myself to lunch.
sorry. I'm from 1 till 2.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Otherwise it'd be
So at this stage in the conversation wasn't really going anywhere. It was a nice conversation, like there was a little bit of chemistry, right? We were kind of reading from the same hymn book, so to speak. But I could tell that she needed to be somewhere, be back at work, right? And so I just tried to close it quickly. You don't want to linger and dwell. If the person you're talking to seems like they want to go or they're in a rush, you can maybe try and have a little conversation. Maybe they're just not feeling so relaxed. But if that continues and you feel like the conversation is coming to its natural close, it's good to read that in the situation and find a segue towards either staying in contact with her or leaving the conversation on a high note and leaving her feeling better than she was when you approached her. So at this stage I said, how long have you got left on your lunch break? And then the expectation is that if she says, oh, I've just started, right, I've got 30 minutes, then I could just say, well, let's walk, let's go grab something to eat. And I could go with her and get to know her better over a period of time and have that spontaneous meeting when you first meet someone, and it turns into an actual, meeting where you can get to know them a bit better and understand a bit more about them.
I thought you were starting out, and I was gonna.
No, oh my
I was
God,
gonna
I'm
invite
so
myself to lunch.
sorry. I'm from 1 till 2.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be quite a late lunch.
No.
But yeah.
You've got a cool energy, Bea. You're-
Thank you. You too.
You had your head down, you were in your
Really?
world.
Yeah, I feel
but
like
as soon
I'm
as
like,
you've come into my
I'm
world,
listening to my
you're-
podcast and I'm like, I've got interviews next week and I'm like, I need to remember everything.
well, I've got to ask, what's the podcast?
Oh, it's quite good.
It's not Joe Rogan, is it?
No, I had my songs on. No, it's on because I've got an interview with them next week, so I was like, I need to
Oh.
learn everything. I need to stalk this man.
Yeah.
Basically.
You're going to find out
I
everything
need
about
to like
his life.
find out everything. I need to
So
be
that you
like,
can impress him.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I'm going for.
All right, Bea. Well, I don't want to make you late back to
Thank
your
you.
head
Lovely
office.
to meet you.
Can I grab your number on WhatsApp,
Yeah.
and maybe we can hang out if this.
My number is.
I am gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do it.
Type it.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher you.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh my God. There might be coronavirus on there.
Don't worry. There is no. I'm fairly certain there's not.
Okay.
All right, Bea.
Lovely to meet you.
Well, I'd give you a kiss
Enjoy
goodbye,
it,
but we
I
can't. So let's
know.
elbow again. See you later, darling.
Bye.
Take
have
care.
A good day.
Angie.
So at this point, we just had a little conversation about what she was listening to. We had a little, you sort of got to be a bit playful and tease her about being in her own world. She's got a cool energy. She was head down, locked into her own world. And I broke her out of that little spell that she was in. And so at this point, I say, well, listen, you've got to go back. I don't want to make you late, but I'd love to grab your number. I'll drop you a message and maybe we can go for a drink next week, right? So keeping it very simple. It's not like sort of building up to that question like, can I get your number? It's like just putting it out there, making it very straightforward, not having any sort of weirdness around it. Just saying, well, let me grab your number. We can go for a drink next week. I'll drop you a message. Keeping it really simple, and then just giving her your phone, letting her type her number in, and taking it back, giving a kiss on the cheek normally if you've kind of established a bit of physical contact before, or just saying goodbye, an elbow bump at this time in the COVID pandemic, and then saying take care, have a nice day. Leaving it and then dropping her a message the next day or the day after. I generally tend to send messages to people in the mornings because they've got less going on, they've got less people kind of consuming their attention. I haven't had a hard day's work, and so I find that you get a greater share of someone's attention if you message them in the morning rather than in the afternoon or the evening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. I'm going to be releasing a lot more of these videos in the coming weeks, and I'm going to be in Brazil from August 23rd, teaching guys how to cold approach women, how to go out and actually build your social network, build your dating and social life on a week-to-week basis. So for more information or any tips about London or Brazil, I'm also going to Poland, Riga in Latvia, and Tallinn in Estonia. Any questions on any of these places, drop me a message at admin@fluid.social. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Sam out.